from South Africa. In our midst, and to see that he's a real person, it's so exciting. And he actually contributes to Better Health and gives us a wonderful insight into what's really going on in the world. Sometimes we get so deep into healthcare reform issues, you know, it's always good to have a fresh post about hippo bites and how to treat them. So, Dr. Calvin, we're so glad to have you. Tell us why you blog.
Yeah, well, as you said, my name is Neil Tavner. I also go by the name Bongi. And I started blogging, I think it's got a lot to do with what you said as well, to give a different perspective, or hopefully a more accurate perspective. I was reading blogs and I came across a student's blog that was in fact one of my students. I read through his blog and I actually came across a reference to myself, which I thought was quite interesting. But this was a guy that never should have gone into medicine. And then finally I read in his blog how he described a suicide attempt where he slit his wrists and then was walking around his apartment bleeding blood all over the place. And I sort of thought, you know, that's what happens when someone who shouldn't be in medicine is into medicine, because we do have an abnormal lifestyle, especially us in surgery in South Africa. We see really strange and bizarre things like hippo bites and people getting shot and all of these terrible things. So we are all traumatized. We actually suffer from a low degree of post-traumatic stress. So you've got to be passionate about it before you get into it. And that is what I want to bring across, my passion for what I do, my passion for surgery, and also to give another perspective. That student put out his perspective, and the people that read his blogs have thought, wow. But I hope that I put out a perspective where people will read my blog and say, wow, that's really interesting. And then, well, that was the beginning. And I think essentially I would describe myself as a storyteller. And if you look at something like Grey's Anatomy, which is also stories, Grey's Anatomy and what I do is similar, except what I talk about is truth and what actually happens. Whereas Grey's Anatomy is just basically a storyline. And I think that's basically it.